first and the most important analysis. We already explained it, but I will revise it with you quickly to give some what we call warming up for about. Today we will discuss SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, as you know, consists of four key concepts. The first concept, the first key concept of the first factor is called strength. The second one is called weaknesses. The third one is opportunities. And the fourth one is threats. As you know, LB is heavily based on definitions and examples. So let's first start with the definitions. Let's first start with the definition. First of all, what is strength? Strengths are the distinctive and the positive qualities, reputation, resources a company has, things that you have. And number two, weaknesses. Weaknesses are the required competencies, capabilities, qualities that a company lacks, does not have. They are the negative sides or aspects of the company. As you know that we classify strength and weaknesses as internal factors. Strength and weaknesses, internal factors. Then we move to opportunities, are the openings in the market and new regions that allow the company to expand in order to gain advantage over the competitors, to be better, as well as the chances. Opportunities are openings and chances that are available to develop products and services to keep up with the customer's needs and desires. They are positive. Threats are the things that can harm the company, like fierce competition. Of course, competition is a key element. Changing markets, a challenge, a danger, changes in taste and inflations, and they are negative. Opportunities and threats are called external factors because they are not now, they come in the future, in the present. Okay, so these are the four key factors of SWOT analysis. And we know how to give examples. Now what we need is examples, but let me quickly highlight the key words for each factor. Strength, distinctive qualities that the company have. The second one, weaknesses are areas where the organization lack. Opportunities are chances or openings or things that to do in order to gain advantage, to be better. Threats are the areas where can harm the organization, right? We divide them into internal and external. External weaknesses and threats are internal. They are what? Internal. Whereas opportunities are and threats are external. In this term, we already discussed this example together about a handmade shoe manufacturing company established in 1860 and located downtown London. And here you have the examples of strength, then you have the examples of weaknesses, and then the examples of opportunities, and then the examples of threats. Now I'm going to give you a quick overview about SWOT analysis from my own point of view, right? So let's go to this. Okay, you can see here strengths and weaknesses are present and internally controlled. O and T are present, future, and onward. Yeah, let me give you my key element quickly. Anything in the present simple is strength or weaknesses. Anything in the present simple is weaknesses and strengths. Examples is, are, has, have, does, verb plus S and verb. If you take a case study, like example like what the company opens, the company, this is strength. The company closes, this is weaknesses. The company works, the employees, launches new products, and so on. All these are, any simple present is what? Strength or weaknesses. Anything in the past tense is weaknesses. Like, for example, if you say the company was the center of fashion. This is what weakness. The company started to lose. This is weakness. If anything that is problem, anything that is negative, again, is considered as a weakness, okay? Anything that is negative, anything that is problem is considered as weakness. Anything that is in the future, if you focus on anything that is in the future, is completely different from present. Let me repeat again. Again, anything that is present, strengths or weaknesses. Anything that is in the past, it is weakness. Anything that is problem, negative, is weakness. Anything in the future is considered as or opportunities or threats. For example, if we use will or shall or can or must models, it expresses future. So it's in the either it is opportunities or threats. For example, the company can have more branches. The company will open new branches. The company will downsize. If the company will open many branches, it means opportunities. The company will close many branches, it means threats. The company will downsize, threats. The company, also another form of future is am, is, are, verb ing. So, for example, I am traveling next week. I am visiting. I am making. I am doing. I'm having a party. But this expresses future. For example, if I say the company is improving, this is opportunity. The company is losing its customers. The company is facing problems. Again, it's a threat. Future in terms of will, shall, can, must, could, ought to, would, all this expresses future, opportunity and threats. Also, am, is, are, verb ing expresses future. Something also they need to be put into consideration when you have the keywords like competition. Directly, it's considered as threats. You have the keyword of challenges, dangers, right? It's a threat. If you have the keyword of chances, is going to be what? Opportunities. One last thing that you need to bear in mind when we have linking words or connectors or transitional words. If you have the following words, it means that there is an example is related to it. And for example, if you have yet, but, although, since, and however, this means that there is a change of mood or change of examples between the two. Maybe S and W, maybe O and T, okay? If you have these keywords, you need to study them thoroughly. Also, if you have in addition, moreover, it means more examples of the same. Let's now have a case study, and I will show you how we can apply these techniques. This case study is called the GAP case study. And let me show you the text. Here you are the text of GAP. If you can see here this text, imagine you have this text. How much time do you need to study this text? A lot. How much time do you need to read this text? A lot. So I'm going to show you a technique that you do without reading. You do it what? Without reading. Because if you read this text, you take at least 20 minutes. If you want to get example, another 20 minutes, and you are wasting your time, okay? So in this case, we need to focus on keywords type. Imagine you are doing SWOT analysis in the exam, in the midterm. What are we know that the essays that you need to produce consist of 6 paragraphs. Introduction, strengths, weaknesses, threats, opportunities, and conclusion. 6 paragraphs is your SWOT essay. If you are going to do a SWOT essay, you must focus on the definition and example. Type. Question, which factor I start with? Do I start with S or O or W or T? My advice to you, start with W. W is very easy to foster, very easy to spot, very easy to get. And we said that the key element for W is simple present, negative words, problem words, and past tense, okay? The order of SWOT essay is not important. What is important is the easiest thing to you. My advice to you, start with weaknesses, then strength, then opportunities, and finally threats. My advice, do this order. Start with introduction, then weaknesses, then strength, and then opportunities, and finally what? Start with threats. That's my advice to you. But imagine you have this text, you are starting writing your essay, you need to identify now the examples, because each body consists of definition. And for example, if I start with weaknesses, so I start with weaknesses are the areas where the organization lack, okay? That's my definition. And then I start with examples, or for example. If you look at this text, there is no need for you to read word for word. What you need to look for negative words quickly. I say negative words. The first negative words is this one. The future of the is in doubt. That's in doubt. And again, we have another keyword, decline. Decline, going down, this is a negative word. The future of this, of the American fashion gap is in doubt. Doubt, again, is a negative word. The company has been suffering, falling sales, another example of negative words. Another negative word, its shares are less. Can you see? Its shares are less than half of the level at the peak of 2000. Again, this is an example of what? Negative words. If we need an example of past tense, we have this example here. The gap started to lose. Again, this is past tense. It's a weakness. Another example of past tense, a gap which once was at the center of sweet labor, right? That's again another weakness because it's in the past. That's my techniques for what, right? Now we move to what? To after weaknesses, we go to strengths. Strengths is straightforward. If you look here, is present symbol. By all accounts, a retail phenomena. This is another one example. The company worldwide state extends to how many stores? 3,157. Present symbol extends. Another example is about 153,000 people work for this company, okay? Again, this is an example of what? Of strength. If we move to opportunities, we look for future. Here we have an example of what? Future. But another example, because we don't have order like weakness, strength, threats, and so on. No, we have step by step. It's not like one after another, no. If you go here at the end, that you will find what? It is also a part of the charitable Red Cross 50%. But this is, it is. If you have it is an example of strength, okay? Here, if you have this, buy this, but this may be too little, too late. Too little, too late is considered, because of may, this is considered as what? As threats, because of the keyword what? May. Another threat is this sentence. The growing popularity and success of lower-priced high street fashion chain, which is unable to compete. The key word here is unable to compete. We said that competition directly it's threats. We have two examples here, right? Unable to compete. Compete is a key word for threats. Now what we would like to see we would like to see what we would like to see the opportunities. We look for anything that is in the future. You will find here a very good example about future. It is also improving. And here, future is improving. Lo am is our verb ing. But because we have also, what is before is another example. Gap in the US fashion is its traditional strength, jeans, and so on. That's exactly the examples that we need to focus on. My advice to you, don't read, don't translate, and don't understand. What you need to do, look for keywords. Look for what? Keywords. And here is the answer of gap case study. I can give you another case study, and if you would like to do it at home, please do. Look at this case study here. Here, this case study. Okay, look at this case study. L'Oreal is a very good example. All right, do the same technique and for more practice. Another case study, you have this one. We already discussed it together. Another case study. Okay, so you can do L'Oreal. Let me show you L'Oreal again. Here. Okay, now we move to another analysis that is very important in the coming classes. This analysis is called SWOT. We are done with the SWOT. Now we move to another analysis that's called STEEPLE. That's called what? STEEPLE. STEEPLE. STEEPLE analysis consists of 9 elements. Here. Yeah. STEEPLE analysis is another analysis that's completely different from SWOT, because SWOT is applicable to any case, any situation. STEEPLE analysis is a very important analysis, and it's completely different from SWOT because, number one, it is not applicable to any case or any situation or any objects or any people or any events. It is applicable only if you have a place and a business. If you have what? A place and a business. If you have a place and a business, it's applicable. You can apply this kind of analysis. STEEPLE analysis consists of 7 key factors, or 7 elements, 7 areas or 7 factors that we deal with. STEEPLE. Okay? So if we look at number 1, sociological. What we need again in LB170, we need definition and examples. So let's start with the first element or the first factor of STEEPLE analysis. The first factor is called sociological. It's called what? Sociological or social. Sometimes we call it social. So what we need now, the definition. It focuses on the forces within the society that might affect the business. It includes demographic changes in age, structure, population, gender, roles, patterns, consumptions, in ways which culture or population the country changes. Yeah, but that's the definition of what sociology. So you bear in mind, when we look for sociological factors, we have to think about cultures, traditions, customs, nationalities, genders. Okay? Now we move to the second one, technological. Technological, our definition, it influences how businesses operate, yani devices, machines. In the organization influence, technological factors in turn include tech changes, automation, R&D activities, production process, communication. In other words, it focuses on the internet, on the software and the hardware, R&D and research and development. When we deal with technological factors, when we focus on these and we would like to find examples, we focus on any devices, equipment, machines, internet, websites, anything related to software and hardware. Now we move to the third element, which is economical. The activities of the world, money, markets, financial institutions affect businesses, include what? Rates of economic growth, rate of interest, rate of inflation, energy prices, exchange rates. In other words, it focuses on the money, anything related to money, salaries, allowances, goods, everything. Environmental focuses on, that's the definition, impacts on the natural environment in terms of resources use, pollution. Businesses themselves are affected by the changes in the natural environment, such as shortage of natural resources, oil. Environmental focuses on the ecosystem, the environment, anything related to what? To the environment. Then we move to number 6, which is called political and legal. Political and legal are somehow related to each other. Rules, regulations imposed by the government that affect the business, local and national and global, local, national and global. The influence from the organizations such as chambers of commerce, trade union. It is not trade rates, no, trade unions and the pressure of the groups under certain political system. It is not about policy, the policies between companies, diplomats, no. It's about rules, regulations, legislation. Finally, we have ethical, which focuses on what? On considerations related to what is acceptable, what is not, values, practices, right? Responsible practices by the leading banks, okay? But that's what we mean by ethical. Students, what we need is, you need to focus heavily on the following. You need to focus on the definition carefully. You need to focus on the definition carefully. And once you focus on the definition, you understand it fully, then you will be able to produce what? Examples. So if in terms of SWOT analysis, STEEPLE analysis, it can come as an activity. It can come as an activity, and you need to find out the examples. So let's have this example. All these are examples of STEEPLE analysis. What you need to classify them. For example, if we say use of e-tickets, use of e-tickets. E here refers to what? It refers to technological. If you say, for example, war with Iraq is considered as, can you guess? And then here, use of the internet. Use of the internet. Use of the internet is directly what? Technological. Let's look at the answer. Social newspaper articles, downturn in passenger traffic. Traffic means the number of passengers. Like now, with coronavirus, there is a minimum, like nearly a zero passenger traffic and moving, traveling around the world. Willingness, it is not using low-cost flights, it's the willingness. Willingness to use the internet is social. Technological, use of e-tickets, use of internet to obtain best fares. Economic, rise price, cut price, right? Bankruptcy, money. all right, health or economic companies responding to travel policies. Political, war with Iraq, threat of terrorism, government, uncertain geopolitics. Okay? But that's one way of SWOT to come. Let me repeat the activity. Right here are the examples and repeat the answers. Exactly with the SWOT. SWOT can come as an essay question and SWOT can come as an activity. STEEPLE can come as an essay question and it can come as an activity like what you saw so far. Now we move to how do we have STEEPLE as what? As an essay question. As what? An essay question. Okay? If you look at this question here, carry out what? STEEPLE. First, quickly, let me highlight when we deal with the STEEPLE, let's heavily focus on the 4 key elements, LOM STEP, STEP. And we said that, let me repeat, what do we need now? We need definition and examples. What we need? We need definitions and examples. The first one is social. Social, a key word is people, nationalities, legislations, people, nationalities, population, cultures, customs, okay? Technological, the key word is devices, equipment, machines, internet, websites, research and development activities, automation. If we move to the other 2, economic factors, economic growth, interest rates, exchange rates, rates, money. The key word is money. Political factors include the government, and the key word for political factors are what? Number 1 is the rules, regulations, laws, legislations, okay? If you say trade unions, trade restrictions, trade rates, economic, and trade restrictions is political. Now, how the question comes about in the exam? It comes like this. Carry out step analysis outlining the main factors in the external environment. As I said earlier, that step analysis needs a place and a business. If you look at this example here, where is the place and what is the business? It's clear here that the place is US, America. And what is the business? Airline industry. What is the business? Airline industry. It's airline industry. That's the business. When we apply step analysis, we need what? We need a place and a business. Let me give you examples from life and then examples from case studies. Examples from life, as I said, how many, again, the question, if you have this essay question about step analysis, how many paragraphs you need to produce? 6. You need to produce what? 6 paragraphs. You need to produce 6 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is introduction. Paragraph 2 is STEB conclusion. When we ask you to produce step analysis essay, 6 paragraphs like SWOT analysis. What are they again? Introduction, STEB conclusion. Type. My advice to you, which element you start with? Do you start with S or T or E or B? Again, my advice, start with T. T is the easiest factor to find examples. After T, start with S, then start with E, and finally P. If you write your essay, start with introduction, T, technological, S, social, E, economic, P, political, and conclusion. Number 1, I repeat again, start 6 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is technological. Paragraph 2 is social. Paragraph 3 is economic, and paragraph 4 is political, and conclusion. That's my advice to you. Start with the last, these 4 key concepts, technological, social, economic, political. Let me give you one example from life, and then you go to examples from case studies. If we ask you to apply step analysis to your office, for example, my office, يبقى number one, technological. I have a computer and I have a telephone. I have internet. That's one example. Social. I am there. I am a tutor. I am my nationality. I am male. Students come to my office. A male, right? Then economic factors. There are no economic factors in my office. I don't receive or deal with money. Political factors. No smoking in my office. No food in my office. Okay. No noise in my office. These are the rules. If you apply SWOT step analysis to the classroom, this classroom, for example, يبقى technological factors, data show, computers, internet. Then we have social, students, maybe male, maybe female. Then political factors, rules, no lateness, no food, no smoking, no sleeping in the classrooms. Economic factors, there are no factors in the classroom, right? Now let's get an example of step analysis here. If you look at this example, yes. If you look at this example here, let me show you. The example comes as this. It says what? Carry out step analysis on the extract about trainer companies, okay? Here, students, you can see, again, if you are going to approach this kind of case study, number one is what you need. You need to think about your essay. How many paragraphs? 6. Introduction, technological, social, economic, and political. Don't read, don't translate, don't understand. If you look at this example here, directly I go for technological. Any technological factors here, any technological factors here? Right, here. Yes, we have one here. It's called what? Trainer. Manufacturers have responded to the growth of e-commerce. E-commerce, يعني electronic, يعني online, via the internet. And then Nike sells shoes on website اللي هي nike.com and internet folk dog. يبقى these are the examples of technological, right? طيب, some students may say the message, but look at message. Is it mobile message? It's okay, but it's not mobile message. It's the message they use to communicate with various groups of customers. But directly, it's what? It's social. It's what? Social. But the message they use with various groups of customers is social, okay? Another social here, Adidas and Reebok, popular culture. But this is again another example of social. Now we move to economic. Economic, we have brand identity here. Students, look here. While maintaining the integrity of brand identity, sales of full price. Price, again, is an example of economic. And one last example, big discount. Discount means what? Money. These are the examples of economic. Brand identity, sales of full price, big discount, okay? Now we look for political. We have only one example, which is political. Political means what? Rules. Here, they also be able to profit from the beneficial and tariff agreement. That's the political example of what? Political example of step analysis. I hope that it's clear. What you need now is more examples on step analysis. If you would like to have another example, we can look here. Another example here. All right, again, carry out SIP analysis. يبقى 6 examples, 6 paragraphs. The first paragraph is introduction, technological, political, social, economic, and political. طيب, if you look at this case study, directly, I will try to find out any technological factors. Technological factors. The world of the rest explain the internet. Europe is ahead. يبقى we have technological factors here. Exploiting the internet, Europe, mobile telephony, and third generation technology. This is what another, these are examples of technological. Now we move to social. If you look here, any social examples, you would find nothing. Don't tell me that third generation mobile telephony is social. No. This one is also what? Technological. We don't have here any examples of social. So I write in my essay, there are no social examples. There are no social examples. I write in my essay. Okay? Is this clear now? You write in your essay, there are no social examples. Do not add any examples from your own experience or from your own examples. No. Okay? We stick to the case study only. Now we move to economic factors. We have a lot of examples about money. Vodafone would have to pay 6 billion and 4 billion. These two examples can be considered as what? As spending subsidies, as examples of economic factors. And the last factor, which is political, Vodafone has to pay 6 billion to the government for license. License is an example of agreement or commitment or a contract or laws or rules. Okay? I hope that you find it quite beneficial and helpful for this kind of analysis. Now we move to the last analysis that I would like to discuss with you, which is called problem solution. It is called what? Problem solution. So this analysis is called what? Problem solution. First, what is a problem? A problem is a negative situation that threatens or a challenge an individual or a group or an organization. Right? What is a problem? It's a negative situation. Negative, something negative that challenge or threaten an individual like Ahmed Osman, a group like you, and an organization like AOU. Right? That's the definition of a problem. A problem solution has 5 steps, 5 stages, 5 elements, 5 key concepts. The first key concept is called situation. It starts, as I said, moves around the problem. Now we said what we need a definition. What is a problem? It's a negative situation. Any problem can have a situation. Can have what? A situation. For example, coming late. Coming late is a problem. Coming late is an example of a problem. But the definition of a problem, what is a problem? A problem is a negative situation that threatens or challenges an individual or a group and organization. Any problem must have a situation on top. What is the situation? The starting point, the framework that surrounds the problem. And for example, coming late to work. What is the situation? Your premises, your campus, your company, your work, your building. In case here, if you come late to class, this is the class of what? LB170, and you come late. And coming late is a problem. Coming late is what? Is a problem. So now we move to what? The third step. The first step is situation. The second step is problem. The third step is cause. Cause. What is cause? Cause is an action that always leads to a reaction. Why? Why this happened? Why did you come late? Why did you come late? What happened? Then we move to solution. What is solution? It's a suggestion, or it's an improvement or a development. And solution. What makes you come late? Heavy traffic. So solutions. drive fast, leave work early. Evaluation is what is how successful is the solution. Yani is this if we because we can give you more solutions. We need to know which one works well or which one is applicable. So we need to know about this. So the best solution, it must be checked. So that's why we have the last stage or the last step, which is called evaluation. Students, again, here we have 5 steps, 5 stages, 5 elements. It starts with situation, problem, cause, solution, evaluation. The technique, this technique, how to answer this kind of analysis, it's your best friend. Why it's your best friend? Because you do not bring anything from your own. What you need to do is you need to find and answer, copy and paste. Find the example of a situation, find the example of a problem, find the example of the cause, find the example of evaluation. It's a kind of copy-pasting, a kind of finding. And remember, we don't scramble. We don't start with evaluation, then problem, then solution. No. We always start with this order: situation, problem, cause, solution, evaluation. Be careful because sometimes you make mistakes. If you make one mistake in the problem or the cause, the rest will be wrong. I need to be careful about spotting that. Which step or which element to start with? It's better to start with the problem. And again, what is the technique? Anything that is negative is a problem. If we look at these examples, we have this example of a problem situation. It comes in the exam like this, exactly like this. It asks you to spot the 5 elements, the 5 stages. Students, if I look at this kind of text, don't read, don't translate, and don't understand. I look for keywords. My first keyword, I should spot the problem. Where is the problem? Something that is negative. Argument, disagreement. Argument, disagreement. Directly, that's the problem. What is before is the situation. What is after is the cause, solution, and evaluation. I give you 2 minutes to think about it, and then we show you the answer. Here, right? We have also keywords like because. Because is another keyword that tells me what comes is a cause. So now let's look at the answer here. The situation, Hope City Hospital. You need to write the answer in full. Because some students will write HCH. No. You must write Hope City, full sentences because we have full WH questions. Problem, source of contention, disagreement. People are not happy. Type. What is the cause? Because people are not consulted. Then the solution, human resources, and then the evaluation. Okay? Type. My technique now, I'll show you how to spot the negative words. How to what? Spot the negative words. Any negative words from the following is considered as what? As a problem. So if you find any negative words like demotivated, unsuccessful, downturn, threat, struggling, constant noise, unfamiliar, all these negative words can help me to spot the problem quickly. For example, if you look at this example, if you look at this text, how can we spot the problems? The first one is unsuccessful. The second one is feelings of exploitation or mistreatment. And drop is a negative words. Look, down. Level of absenteeism are highest. If level absenteeism is low, no problem. Like in absenteeism high, problem. Limited, and then low, and poor. So if you look at these are the negative words. Okay, students? What we need now, you need more. Here is the answer. Okay? All these words in red are considered as problems. There is an example in the book. So if you would like you to do it, I would be happy. Now we are going to conclude with what? With the last key element, اللي هو problem and perceptions. Problem and perceptions. How does problem solution come in the exam? Let me show you an example before we end up. Problem solution come exactly like this. That's the case. Problem solution comes exactly like this. Here, if you look at this example, here, exactly like this. It says, read the following, the extract carefully and apply what? Problem solution. Here, what is the situation? Gap closing. What do we do? Gap closing. Here, gap closing reduced 2004. All right. Then, what is the problem? What is the solution? What is the evaluation? So what we do? Copy, paste. What we do? Copy, paste. And be careful. We need to focus. Start with directly. Start with the problem. Yani for example, here the monitoring process would require an army of vendor compliance officers. These are the problems. Okay, reducing is a solution, and the better way is another solution. Okay. Now we move to maybe another example. Let me check. So when you answer problem solution, you have to bear in mind we don't scramble, we don't jump. We start in order. The first thing is the situation, followed by a problem, followed by a cause, followed by here, followed by a cause, followed by a solution, and number 4 is the evaluation. Okay? All right? We will discuss the problem and perception, which is the last thing that we need to focus on today. Right. Problem and perception. Problem, as we know, is a negative situation which threatens or challenges an individual or a group. For example, smoking is a problem, but some people, when they smoke, they don't look at smoking as a problem, as a pleasure, as a desire, as a habit, right? So they don't think that a problem is smoking is a problem. Here, what we have. Problems, definition example. Problem is, the problem describes a negative situation that threatens or challenges an individual or a group or organization. Examples, heavy traffic, coronavirus now in the world. Perception, definition. Perception is what is the way we perceive the world around us from inside and from your point of view and from outside. And for example, smoking is bad for you. You don't smoke and you hate smokers. This is from inside and from outside. Again, I repeat, perception is what? Perception is what? Is the way we perceive things around us, of the world around us, from what? From inside and from outside. For example, smoking, you may perceive it as a bad habit. From inside, you don't smoke, and from outside, people who smoke. Some people perceive it as a good habit. They enjoy it from inside and from outside. Now let's have an example about this from business. The example that we can have about this from business is this. A middle manager, this middle manager who has spent years and years in the same job with no hope of promotion, so he feels demotivated and become less productive and undervalued. He spent like 20 years in the same job. He's a supervisor. A middle manager means what? Supervisor, team leader, or a group leader, or a BCC like here in AOU. A supervisor, a team leader, supervisor, head of department. So he spent years and years in the same job. He feels demotivated. He wants to change, and he wants to change his. Like some of the students, Some of the students are supervisors, are team leaders, and they want to change, so they come to study to upgrade, to go higher, to move ahead, okay? To go to senior management. Yani they are in the middle management and you want to go to the senior management. Another middle manager, the other example, another middle manager is stuck in the same position, the same job, right? Spent 20 years, but he feels happy, satisfied every day. He's happy with his employees, and he likes his job, he likes his life, he doesn't want to change. But we have two different views of the same position, and this is called perception. So students, I will recap. Today we discussed SWOT, and we said that to produce a SWOT, you need to produce 6 paragraphs. Start with weaknesses, then strengths, then opportunities, and then threats. 6 paragraphs, introduction, weaknesses, strengths, opportunities, threats. And you don't need to read word for word, look for examples, and we give you the key words that you need to look at. Anything that is negative, present, problem, and then future, right? That's a SWOT analysis, and you need to do 6. SWOT can come as an examples. You need to find out the examples and spot them. We discussed STEEPLE analysis. We said that it has 7 elements: sociological, technological, economical, environmental, legal, political, and ethical. And we said that we focus on 4. If you have this question, carry out step analysis. So you need a place in the business. You write 6 paragraphs. Start with technological, social, economic, and political. So you start with an introduction, technological, sociological, economical, and political, and you need to end up with a conclusion. A step analysis can come as an activity, so you need to match and examples and spot examples as we said, okay? According to the definition. Technological, internet, machines. Social, people, population. Economic, money, any rates, and political rules, regulation. And then we ended up with problem solution analysis, which is your best friend because you don't answer from anything from your mind. What you do is you copy paste. Problem solution, as we said, has 5 steps, 5 stages: situation, followed by problem, cause, solution, evaluation. We don't scramble, start with situation. My advice to you, spot the problem, which is a negative situation or a negative thing. Before the problem, we have situation, problem, cause, solution, and evaluation. Good luck, and hope to see you again. And I hope that things are clearer. Please keep in touch with me through the big blue button or the BBB. Classes we are available at the times that we set up. I have a class. My class starts from Tuesday from 7 to 9. So prepare any questions you would like to ask me, and I hope I am beneficial to you, and hope to see you soon, inshallah. Thank you very much indeed. Good luck with your study. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.